ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। हरिः ओम्। सुप्रभातम्। We all are studying a text composed by Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi ji, and in that text all different aspects of karma yoga, bhakti yoga, dhyana yoga and jnana yoga. Karma yoga action, bhakti yoga devotion, dhyana yoga hatha yoga, that is hatha yoga practice. Jnana yoga is complete knowledge based, inquiry based path. So this is how we should understand all the aspect, all the paths are covered in a very brief with a brief explanation. So let us chant the verses first. Karturāgyaya prapyate phalam karma kim param karma tajjadam kruti mahodadau patana karanam phalam shashvatam gati nirodhakam ishvararpitam nichaya kritam चित्तशोधकं मुक्तिसाधकं कायवाङ्मन कार्यमुत्तमं पूजनं जप चिन्तनं क्रमात् जगतैषधी युक्तसेवनम् अष्टमूर्तिभृत् देवपूजनम् उच्चमस्तवात् उत्तमस्तवात् उच्चमन्दतः चित्तजं जप ध्यानमुत्तमम्. So till then we have completed let us recap little about Uttamastavat Uchchamandatah Chittajam Japa Dhyanamuttamam. So when it is indicated here, we have to do a sadhana. So one must ask the question, am I ready for sadhana? What is the question? Am I ready for sadhana? Why this question to be asked? Because sadhana cannot start unless and until you have a sadhya in front of you. Sadhya means some very superior goal of life, very supreme goal of life. That is called as sadhya. So, many a times it happens with lot of people that they do not understand unless and until I fix up my supreme goal, sadhana will not start. Then whatever we are doing is just a ritual. Hope this point hit your mind. What is called as ritual? Ritual means, no, this has to be done, so I am doing. It is good because it is said in scriptures, so I am doing it. This attitude is not the attitude of seeker, sadhaka. Sadhaka knows, why am I doing? What is my supreme goal? And therefore it becomes a sadhana. Otherwise it remains as just a ritual. Please note it. So, as you know, the life of Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji, if we just look at the life of Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji, as well as Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi ji, how we can see in both great Mahatmas, their supreme goal was very strong. Their supreme goal was very, very strong. My request to everyone, please do not put on your audio because it brings a sound and it disturbs me as well as everyone. So when I put everyone on mute, let it be on mute. Okay, back to. So one must understand that if such goal, as we have seen two examples, Ramana Maharshi ji as well as the Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya. Sri Ramana Maharshi ji, when he was a very young boy, 9 or 10 years of age, that time he left the house. So just imagine, such a young age, one who is leaving the house, is he leaving the house just because he is not getting along with people? No. Is he going out because the facilities are not enough and he wants to have something else as in facilities of the life? No. Then why did he leave the house? Because, now please understand, because supreme goal of the life to achieve is not possible in this routine way of living the life what he was doing. Therefore he has understood and his vairagya was so strong, immediately he took the action and left the house. There is no indication for anyone to do the same. This is only to understand the importance of supreme goal in life. Therefore, we must understand from the life of such people as well as Shankaracharya ji. See the life of Shankaracharya ji. Supreme goal was so clear, therefore at very tender age of 6, he took a sannyas. Now we have to understand, wherever we are, Bhagavan Krishna ji has already said in Bhagavad Gita what is sannyasa. Very beautifully. What is sannyas? Sannyasastu mahabaho. What is that? Na dveshti na kankshati nirdvanvo hi mahabaho. Na dveshtati na kankshati. No hatred about anyone. No egocentric desire about anything. Nirdvandvo hi mahabaho. One must able to cross all the pairs of opposite and then be steady in your sadhana. That's the sannyas. So you can understand now. So clear indication is given to Arjuna there and through Arjuna to all of us. Therefore, let we not have fancy idea of going somewhere in Himalayas and staying there and that's only the way. No, that's not the only way. We must understand, if our goal of life that is supreme, then sadhana is so beautifully said here. Jagataishadi yukta sevanam ashtamurti brut deva pujanam. So see, what a beautiful sadhana, that everywhere you have to see the Lord. Everywhere. Now Ashtamurti Brut, as we have understood, Pancha Mahabhuta. So if you understand and little analyze, everything is made up of 5 elements alone. That means chair, table, whatever you use, even that everything is made up of 5 elements. Therefore, using even the objects, how should we use? With very care and with lot of right attitude towards it. Not like taking one spoon or taking something called as plate and throwing somewhere. That's not the right way of doing anything. People take up, we have seen lot many times, people take up a book and when they have to keep it, just throw it on the table, and they do it like this with Bhagavad Gita and other texts also. That means what? My attitude towards the object is not divine. My attitude towards the object should be divine. Should be divine. Why? Because it is not something only as an object, it is ansha of that anshi. That means anga of that angi, a part of that whole. So what a beautiful sadhana is given. And in Indian culture, a thought came just for giving a right emphasis to what we are thinking. The lady of the house used to do what? She used to feed everyone first, and then whatever is left she used to eat. Now just imagine, how is it possible unless and until you have a divine attitude? Think about it. So that person was actually so divine that it is very, very subtle mind which understands, but people used to do as a ritual that time. They didn't know that. But behind that, what a big sadhana was done. That one has to understand. Even if today, if we call people to our home, we serve them first and then we eat. It's not that we eat, oh no, they are coming late, let me eat little more and then wait for them. That's not the right way to actually call someone and offer bhiksha to people. Okay, fine. So this is how we should able to know sadhana does not start. My point was, sadhana does not start unless and until your sadhya is very much sure. And if it is not sure, it is a ritual. This point I wanted to emphasize and make everyone clear about it, that otherwise it's just like a tradition. Somebody is doing, so I am doing. Okay. The next important point last time or last session we have seen that how these japa practice like Uttamastavat Uchchamandata Chittajam japa Dhyanamuttamam, one japa will take care of one level of our understanding. So I said, when you loudly chant, it will take care of the object around. You will grow above the object. Now please understand, mind is such, take an example of a child. If the child is there and it is disturbed and it's crying, so you give one chocolate to that child and the whole sort of sorrow just goes away in a second. It doesn't know what is the analysis of it. It only sees the object. So that's called as the grossness of the object. So there are people around everywhere, they only see the gross object and people, they are troubling me. They can't understand the analysis as well as the subtle understanding behind it. Okay. Then what happens when the second stage comes, which is called as mandataha japa, then there is called as subtleness which dawns in the mind. Subtleness. What is the subtleness? Now just imagine. Krodha is a vritti, is a thought. Krodha is a thought. Now ask one. People know, oh, I am getting angry. Now just see, they have now raised or they have understood another important point, that there is something called as mental agitation which is called as krodha, anger. So he says, no, my mind, it's very, very agitated. So what is happening? They have understood that the thought is disturbing me. Okay. Now having understood this and tried enough, they understand, oh, this thought does not go of anger because the cause is something different. So what is the cause of krodha? Kamaha, desire. So when you go to the Chittajam japa, there the desire starts melting. Very slowly, please understand, very slowly. And then when you go to that japa, which is called as ajapaha, that is called as dhyanam. And there the vasanas get completely washed away. And see how many of our Mahatmas, Sant Mahatmas, they have just taken this word. Now let me give an example how people have raised himself or herself. There was one person whose name was Gora Kumbhar in Maharashtra, a great Sant. But what is his bread and butter earning is he's a potter. And he is doing his action and chanting Vithala, 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 Vithala. The wife is always in trouble. Says, you are not taking care of this son. I have to only take care of the son and I can't do anything else. He says, what should I do? I can help you. He says, now I am going to fetch water and do my some, kitchen work. You please take care of the child. He says, okay. You leave him here. And he started doing his work. What is his work? Just putting, he was making that they bring lot of sandy soil, and they want to put together and mix it very well. So the hands are not enough. So what do? They do it with the legs. Tack, 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 tack. Put some water. Again, tack, 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 tack. With the legs. And chanting the name of the Lord. Vithala, Vithala. He went in trance. Now this is called as what? Dhyanam. Where and how is because of the chanting of the name of the Lord. And that small baby, it didn't know that my father is not caring, so it wanted to go near the father. It went near the father, and this father actually stampled the baby, but not in any sort of awareness, because he was already with the Lord. Then the wife came and saw, what are you doing? The baby is dead. He says, what you say? Where is baby? Baby was in that mud and water. The wife started crying. He took the baby, put water on his face and said, Bhagwan, if this is the result of chanting your name, why should I chant your name? To kill someone? The moment he said so, the baby started crying. Can you imagine? This sadhana, to reach to that level, I just wanted to give you that feeling that we understand, oh japa, what is japa? ta, it's done. So, Swamiji, tell me, how many malas I have to do? 5? Okay. My 5 malas in 5 minutes. Oh dear, what are you doing? Bhagavan is not waiting to listen to your name, and Bhagavan doesn't want your sadhana at all. Bhagavan says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yo me bhaktya prayachate. This is the most important thing. Every name, every japa should be with love. And that japa becomes a sadhana. Otherwise, it remains a ritual. It just remains a ritual. Okay, so this is how we should be able to understand that japa sadhana is not a sadhana of some inferior sort, but it is having its own importance and its own superiority about everything. Now you can imagine, in every religion, it is said you have to chant the name of Lord. Every religion. Why is it so important? Because that itself is a great sadhana. People cannot go to the different levels and different paths because these other paths become little difficult for people because their understanding and their nature does not suit to other paths. So therefore this path is much what it call as easier, sarala for many of the people. Now having said this, then comes how this our sadhana should take up its own height, and that's why we started last session. Ajyadharaya srotasa samam sarala chintanam viralatah param. So it is said, superior to interrupted doing the sadhana, that is called as japa sadhana, the continuous uninterrupted sadhana is the best. So interrupted means what? Like what we all do. We chant 108 names and then phone call comes. Oh, just wait. We keep a mala and then start attending the phone call. Okay, no, I don't want to attend, but I have to just see whose phone call it is. Or I have to just see whose message it is. No, my WhatsApp is only on to know that how the people are sending me message and what is the content. I am not sending it back. Oh my dear, this is all interruption. This is all sort of discontinuation. So whenever you do sadhana, lock your phone, put it off. Lock your room and tell people around you that this time, half an hour, 1 hour, whatever is that, there is no requirement from my side and please don't disturb me. So this exclusiveness is important in sadhana. Exclusiveness. So one point we'll see how it becomes a dhyana. It is called as sajatiya vritti pravaha, towards one and one object. Sajatiya. Sajatiya means of one of a one kind, of a one type. Like if you see the Lord and keep thinking about the Lord, only Lord, and only Lord. Like example, in Yashoda Maiya's mind, there was nothing else. Morning, evening, night, afternoon, there is only Kana, oh Kana, oh Kana, oh Kana. Just imagine, this is how is called as the continuous flow of thought. Continuous. Srotasa samam. Okay, this is very important, and this example one has to keep it in mind of Yashodaji or any other great person like Sant Mirabai ji. Take an example of Sant Mirabai ji. From age 8 or 9, the mother said to her when she asked, "Who is my husband?" The mother said, "How can you tell now this small child who is her husband?" So there was altar. In altar there was a Bhagavan Krishna, Muralidhar. He says, "See, this Bansidhar, Muralidhar is your husband." And that small child has taken it so seriously, the whole life, mere to गिरधर गोपाल दूसरो न कोई, देखो जाकी सर मोर मुकुट मेरो पति सोए मेरे तो गिरधर गोपाल. Whole of her life, that was the only thought. That was the only thought. So what are we trying to understand? One thought which is continued forever. Continuous, 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 that thought remains in the mind. Now let me just give you this indication. For whom it is possible and for whom it is difficult. Please understand, this is a very important aspect of sadhana. For whom it is possible and for whom it is difficult. For whom it is difficult first. Jagati Satya Buddhi. He who has Jagati Satya Buddhi. That means this world is real and all the experiences of the world are real. One who has this understanding, for this person continuous this sadhana is difficult. This is difficult. Why? Because in between the reality comes as an experience and we get dragged by the experiences. When we get dragged by the experiences, experience becomes a primary thing in our life. Just imagine, experience becomes a primary thing in life. I'll give again example. Example should hit you. See, there was a great Sant Mahatma, Sant Eknath Maharaj. Again, Maharashtra has lots of Santa and Mahatmas. So, his popularity was growing and people started, always having a jealousy towards him. So, one Sarpanch, the leader of that town, wanted to put him down in front of everyone. So, he gave some money to a you stupid person and said, when he goes for a bath and comes out of the river, you just spit on him. Just imagine now. And that person did several times. But this Eknath Maharaj did not do any reaction. There was nothing as a negativity, but he went and took bath and came out. After some time, when the person realized his own mistake, he fell on his feet. And he says, how can you be so divine? What he said, just imagine. He said, this your one act allowed me to take 10 times bath in this holy river, which I could really get the merits of taking so many baths. My God. This is called as no importance of any Jagata experience. This is what my indication is. For us, it becomes so great. Oh, how can somebody insult me in this way? How someone can think of me as a doormat and what not. But for this evolved person, this Jagata Buddhi is not there. It takes long time for a sadhaka to cross this level of Jagata Buddhi, that Satya, Jagati Satya Buddhi to cross over. So I said for whom it is difficult. Now for whom it is easy, one who has tried his level best to do Nitya Anitya Viveka. That is the point here. See how sadhana are interlinked. You will understand now Tattva Bodh. It is said Nitya Nitya Viveka Kaha Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahma Tad Vyatiriktam Sarvam Anityam Iti. Now Anityatva of Drushya Jagata. This statement you have to understand. Anityatva of the Drushya Jagata. Can I understand it first? So this is the first level of understanding. Second, can I accept it? This is very important. One, oh, I know everything is real and everything is unreal. This is a real and this is unreal. But when it comes to the practice, Swamiji, why it happened to me? Why did not it happen to that person? When it comes to practice, again back to square one. That means having understood, it is not accepted at all. Please note it. Please note it. I give a simple example. If a small boy or girl is there and a mother, if he does any mistake, understand, any mistake, that mother forgives so quickly. How is it possible? Because you have accepted your daughter and your son completely. So let him do whatever mistake, you accept it as it is very quickly. But if the same mistake is done by Bahu, just to make it more, then simple mistake, Are Rama Panduranga. Okay, so just to make a point clear, I am just giving this sort of lighter movement to this pravachan. Fine. Understand, this is how our mind works. So for whom it is easy and for whom it is difficult, that we have seen now. Bhagavan, can you please tell us what? Now, what is a way? If it is difficult, what is a way? Bhagavan said, did you listen to my 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita? Swamiji, we are on 13th chapter now. What you are talking of 6th chapter? Oh no, let me just remind you. Asamsham Asamsayam Mahabaho Manodurnigraham Chalam Abhyasena tu Kaunteya Vairagyena cha Gruhyate. Principle remains same everywhere. Bhagavan says, don't forget the principle. So we have started with principle this time. What is principle? Abhyasa. Abhyas means satat practice. Continuous practice. And then it is said Vairagya together. Only practice will not help. See, I told you these two examples. If you just want to practice it like that, just on the intellectual level, then I told you it doesn't work when it actually comes to the reality. So when it comes to reality, and if you are already accepted it and you are practicing it, then that thing becomes a wisdom for us. Okay. So this is how one must know how one should able to get the mastery over anything. Bhagavan's rule is same. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha gruhyate. Abhyas. Satat practice. So, this point, ajyadharaya srotasa samam. Next important point, who all can do and how it can be easy. So, please understand now. Object is there. Sajatiya vritti towards the object. This is called as ajyadharaya. Sajatiya vritti. Sajatiya vritti means a thought of a same nature is going towards one object and one object only. For that, these things are important. The first thing is love. Most important aspect is love. Now let us reflect over Bhaja Govindam. Verse number 7. Anyone? Balastavat क्रीडासक्तः तरुणस्तावत् तरुणीसक्तः वृद्धस्तावत् चिन्तासक्तः परमे ब्रह्मणि कोऽपि न सक्तः भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते. What a beautifully said. It is said, a small boy or girl, a small child is there. Balastavat krida sakta. You do not have to tell them at all. Go and play. They are ready every time to play. Why? Only one reason, they love it. That's all. Only one reason. Love it. There is no other reason. Okay. Now second, tarunastavat taruni sakta. What is there? Only love, nothing else. Now there is nothing else to love in the old age. Then they love their own chinta, which take them to the chitta. Oh my God. But they still don't leave it. So much love is strong about chinta. Then it is said, Parame Brahmani Kopi na Saktaha. Why is it so? Because the love for the Lord is absent. And therefore, this is how the whole world is going on and on, on and on, on and on, on and on. So what is the important aspect? Love. Love. Now, little technical. Technical is three important things. You must know about your object, your buddhi. It should be mahata buddhi. Mahata buddhi means that which is something very great. Mahata buddhi. That which is supreme. That buddhi should be there. Then which buddhi? Then which is called as glory. Glory means the vibhuti. You must know the vibhuti of that thing. That is called as Gaurava Buddhi. Gaurava Buddhi. So much you have glorified or you glorify it. And what can you glorify? That you have supreme in your mind. This is very important. So these are the important aspect, very technical. Example, like people are there who keep telling about their own work. What? I am doing social work. Do you know how much time I feed children? And then I do this, I do that, and they keep glorifying it. Yes or no? Yes. Why? Mahata Buddhi is there. Mahata Buddhi. Then another sort of people, leader, they keep glorifying their own work. And so on, and policies and this and that. Why? Mahata Buddhi. Mahata Buddhi. So you can understand, now you shift to Santa Mahatma, whom they glorify. Whom they glorify. There is only one and one thing, they glorify Lord and Lord alone. Just see, Mahata Buddhi is there in the Lord, and therefore glorification is only of the Lord. Very fantastic thing. So, last session we have seen the example of Gopikas. one more Gopika example. It is very, very sweet example. So Uddhava, who is a friend of Bhagwan Krishna, he says, sometimes you get lost somewhere. And I don't understand, you are such a Jnana Murti, how can you get lost in something? So can I ask you a question, oh my dear Krishna, where do you go this? Where do you go here when you get lost? He says, what to say? There is only one thing where I get lost, and that is the love of Gopikas. He says, what? Love of Gopikas? Who all are they? So they are all, very simple folk of Vrindavan. They are doing, cattle herd and this and that is their work. They milk the cows and they prepare the butter and this and that's how they live the life. He says, I can't believe this. Let me tell them something which is called as, what is Supreme Brahman? He says, okay, you go and teach them. That will be a great advantage and great favor for them. So, okay. So Uddhav goes to the Vrindavan. And then Uddhav is like this, he is to quite look like a Bhagwan Krishna, because he is following each and everything of Bhagwan Krishna right from the childhood. So his whole appearance is like Bhagwan Krishna. So everyone was so thrilled that, oh, Bhagwan Sakha has come, let us come and meet him. So all Gopikas are sitting around him, and then he is talking to them. Suddenly he understood that this is a time where I can now explain them that what is called as Brahma. Then he started saying something called as Brahma. So the Gopika in 5 minutes said, Uddhavji, whatever you are telling may be very great, but let us tell you, let us tell you. Says what? Nothing goes in our mind at all. Whatever you are saying is what? Whatever you are telling, Nitya, Anitya, Vairagya, Viveka, Shamadhi, Shatika, Sampatti and Mumukshutvam, this all does not enter our ears. Says what? How is it possible? He says, because this mind is only one. And there is one very big Chittachora, whose name is Krishna, who has taken our mind to Mathura. Now there is nothing we can understand. See the glory. This is a glory. In a different way, she is glorifying that Krishna, where it says, what is Brahma? This is Brahma. This is already, the mind is gone. There is nothing for getting spoiled at all. It is already with the Krishna. So this is how we should be able to understand that love for our supreme goal, for our sadhya, we must able to cultivate. Okay, let us do a right practice of dhyanam so we can understand the subject more clearly and can practice it more accurately. Wherever you are sitting, just see to that your posture is right, your hands are on your legs or in your lap. Your back is straight, your neck is straight, your shoulders are fine and straight, no discomfort on the body level. See to it that your facial expressions are very pleasant, and in your mind there are no worries. Let us focus this mind for a minute on our own breathing process. As the air comes inside, you can number it 1, 2, 3. Let the air fill your every corner of the lungs. Let it go out. 3, 2, 1. Let us focus on this for some time. Air is coming inside. You are chanting the number. Experience the expansion of the lungs till the abdominal area. Again, the air is coming out. 3, 2, 1. When we gain sufficient good attention and focus, let us turn this focus on the mind itself and recollect all the important points what we have covered today. The japa sadhana is important, and it can give us a good result only when in our life our supreme goal is very clear and very firm. Then alone our spiritual sadhana starts. Otherwise, it just remains as a ritual. How different stages of the japa sadhana can help us to reach to the different levels of obstacles in sadhana, and how can we remove it, that also we have seen today. Then we are seeing this important aspect, how our japa, chintanam can become continuous and not interrupted one. For that, we have seen one aspect, that for whom it is possible and whom it is not possible. It is possible for one who does not have Jagati Satya Buddhi. It is not possible for who has this Jagata Satya Buddhi. Then we understood for that Nitya Viveka is required. And practice is the only way to go ahead. Along with the practice, Vairagya is another important aspect of making our sadhana more vibrant, more regular. Then we have seen Sajatiya Vritti Pravaha, one continuous thought towards the object of contemplation. For that we require a love for the object of contemplation. Then we have seen how different people glorify their own actions by glorifying their goal of life. But all Santa Mahatmas, they glorify the Lord because in their life there is only a love and love for the Lord. And therefore they sing the glories of the Lord. Similarly, let we all have this supreme goal as the Lord. Let we all love Him unconditionally. Then slowly our continuous one thought which can go towards Him effortlessly. Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. Harihi Om. Let us have the gratitude in our heart. With the full gratitude, let us do pranam to the Lord and thank the Lord for giving this knowledge and a beautiful moments of this life. Thank everyone in your life who has given you so much to reach here where we all are. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai.
โอมนะโมนารา Om Namo Narayanaaya Om Namo Buddhaya Om Namo Sanghaya Om Namo Sanghaya Om Namo Buddhaya 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 Om Namo Sanghaya Om